a story in the Bible about three brave men. If you've heard it before, you need to hear it again. So listen up, you really need to know about Shadrack, Meshack, Abednego. King Nebuchadnezzar made an idol of gold. He said, listen here, people better do what you're told. You better bow down when the music is played, or it's in the fiery furnace 'cause you've disobeyed. So the very first time that the music was played, all the people bowed down 'cause they were afraid. But three brave men, they each said no. That was Shadrach, Meshack, Abednego. Well, the king was so mad when the word got around. He couldn't believe that they didn't bow down. So he asked them why. They said, we're not afraid, for we worship our God and not the idol you made. So the king had them thrown in the furnace of fire, and he turned it way up to make the flames go much higher. And as everyone watched, much to their surprise, that instead of three men, there were four men inside. And someone said, look, there's an angel in there, and they're not burned, nor their clothes or their hair. And the king cried out, not in all of my days has there ever been a God so worthy of praise. So the king made a decree. It was on that very day. There is no God who can save. In this way, Shadrach, Meshack, Abednego.
Young folks, old folks, everybody come to Kids Club and have a lot of fun. Please check your chewing gum and raisins at the door, and we'll tell you Bible stories that you never heard before. Hello, children. I'm Pastor Ted. Get ready. I'm going to read the Bible. You're going to hear a story. Our story goes back 2,000 years to the magnificent city of Babylon and the Babylonian Empire, which included some Jewish people who had been exiled. I'll read from Daniel chapter 3. Therefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came forward and maliciously accused the Jews. They declared to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that every person who hears the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast into a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom you have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon. Their names are Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego. These men, O king, pay no attention to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in a furious rage, commanded that Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego be brought to him. And so they brought these men before the king. And Nebuchadnezzar said, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image that I have set up? Now, if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, bagpipe, and every kind of music, to fall down and worship the image that I have made, well and good. But if you do not worship, you shall immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you out of my hands? Well, Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it known to you, king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. Meshack, Shadrach, and Abednego want to worship only the true God, not an idol. Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with fury, and the expression on his face was changed against Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times more than it was usually heated. They used these furnaces for melting ore into metal. And Nebuchadnezzar ordered some of the mighty men of his army to bind Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. And then these men were bound in their cloaks and their tunics, their hats and their other garments, and they were thrown into the burning fiery furnace. Because the king's order was urgent, and the furnace overheated, the flame of the fire killed those men who had taken Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego, fell bound into the burning fiery furnace. Boy, I don't want that to happen to me. I bet you don't want it to happen to you either. But that's not the end of the story. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished and rose up in haste. He declared to his counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound into the fire? And they answered and said to the king, True, O king. And he answered and said, But I see 4 men, unbound, walking in the midst of the fire, and they're not hurt. And the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods. Who was that 4th person in there? Could it have been the Son of God protecting Meshack and Abednego? Will the Son of God protect you and me as well? Well, we remember the ancient city of Babylon as the great city of sin. Take a look at this painting. It looks like the Tower of Babel. Now let's listen to Johnny Cash.
Here is a story from the Bible that we know, a story about a miracle that happened long ago. We hope you can find courage when temptations you might meet. Oh, there's somebody watching who's strong when you're weak. They wouldn't bend.
They held on to the will of God, so we are told.
They wouldn't bow.
They would not bow their knees to the idols made of gold.
They wouldn't burn.
They were protected by the
4th man in the fire. They wouldn't bend. They wouldn't bow. They wouldn't burn. Well, the prophet Daniel tells about 3 men who walked with God. Shadrach, Meshack, and Abednego. Before the wicked king they stood. Now the king commanded them bound and thrown into the fiery coals that day. But the fire was so hot that the men were slain, that forced them on the way. They wouldn't bend.
They held on to the will of God, so we are told.
They wouldn't bow.
They would not bow their knees to the idols made of gold.
They wouldn't burn.
They were protected by the
4th man in the fire. They wouldn't bend. They wouldn't bow. They wouldn't burn. When the 3 were cast in and the king rose up to witness their awful fate, he began to tremble at what he saw, and in astonished tones he spake, Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? I believe I see 4 men unhurt, unbound, and walking down there. I see Shadrach, Meshack, Abednego, and the fiery coals they trod. But the form of the 4th man that I see is like the Son of God. They wouldn't bend.
They held on to the will of God, so we are told.
They wouldn't bow.
They would not bow their knees to
old folks, everybody come to Kids Club and have a lot of fun. Please check your chewing gum and raisins at the door, and we'll tell you Bible stories that you never heard before. Goodbye, kids.